Alright, I had some technical difficulties. We're going to try this again. So, like I said, I came to Full Sail with a purpose. Because I know that content is king. And there's two things that's very, very powerful. A story and your image. Image is everything. And before coming to Full Sail, I had made a commitment to my family. My wife first of all, my children second of all. To stand up and break negative cycles that plague individuals because of inequality, because of prosperity, discrimination, and giving preferential treatment to the haves and simply abandoning the have-nots. I joined a group called Alienation, and we decided that we was going to take control of our images, take control of our own message. So we was going to fight against the grain. We wasn't going to let Hollywood let Hollywood brand us as thugs, criminals, whatever. And I developed the ability to bring groups of individuals together with talents, build a network and build a team, and execute. On many different levels. I borrowed it from the background in sports, but I also had a heavy background in music, heavy background in the arts, performing arts, drama. My father's a film producer who also went to Full Sail University and graduated for film. Went to New York Film Academy before coming to Full Sail. So the arts and all of this is in our blood. So the content was there. But there's a lot of obstacles in that environment as well. A lot of barriers to success. When I got down to Full Sail, I realized that there were some barriers to success as well. You guys have all of the talent there as well to be able to produce skills around specific industries. That's the beauty about Full Sail. It doesn't waste your time like the traditional educational system, having you taking 4 years of a bunch of fluff classes you don't need. If you come in there to be a graphic designer, you're going to get graphic design classes, and you're going to have the skills when you finish your program to design graphics. The only challenge is 2006, 2007, 2008, when I was there, this was just before the Great Recession. So now students that I'm in school with, they got all of this debt. They have skills, but they desperately are in need of content to be able to produce around. And the greatest thing about what was going on then and the greatest thing about what's going on now is good businessmen just take advantage of opportunities and meet needs. A great business person with a great business plan sees an area where there's a need for something or a demand for something, and then they go out and create products or services to meet the demand. So here I got these two communities that I'm both a part of. Educational institutions from high school and college on another end that have athletic programs and arts programs where they had the content. And then here on this hand, we have Full Sail where they got the skills to be able to do whatever. All I had to do was figure out how to build the bridge. Bill Hudson, there we go. There we go, he could testify. So, I'm gonna give y'all a little background of what we did when I got to Full Sail, and then I'm gonna let y'all know what we about to do now. What we about to do now. And like the post say, calling for all of the creators. This is what I always do. I bring the two different groups together. The creators with the skills from Full Sail and my content, raw, natural talent communities from. We build the bridge and put it together. Give you an example. When we first got the Full Sail, here's a little article. If y'all still at Full Sail, I don't know if they still got propeller or whatever, but it did a little propeller. For all of y'all who don't go to Full Sail, propeller is the internal website where you log into and you get all of the teacher stuff and all of the school information is on propeller. So in our third month at Full Sail, because I already had the vision of bringing people together so that we could have the ability to launch. If you had talent, our thing was if you got talent, we're gonna get you noticed and get you hired. That's all we went around the campus saying. If you got the talent, if you got a reel, if you got skills, we got people in our community, in our network of individuals who naturally produce content, but need people who can technically have the skills to be able to package it and distribute it to the world. It's a match made in heaven. But on the one side, the obstacle with the Full Sail students is the debt, and then having a network to tap into. On the other side, these individuals, they got businesses, but they have no brand, they have no voice, they have no marketing, they have no platform, they have no way to get their particular skill set that they, or content that they have mastered out to the masses. And we bridged the gap. First in a business called Reel to Reels. This was before Facebook. Only MySpace was out at the time. We had all our people while we was at the Florida Music and Film Festival. Just got ads in the Florida Music and Film Festival 3 years running. And we signed up everything moving from artists to CEOs and wherever. We was pitched everybody the same thing. Listen, man, we're going to bring companies and business and all of that together. All right, so this is how all that started. This is the article from the school. It said 5 Full Sail grads have created an entertainment networking hub called ReelToReels.com. It's similar to MySpace concept of getting people connected, except that rather than selling itself as a place for friends, Reel to Reels is positioned as a place for jobs and job contacts. Alright. So that was first phase. So we really was serious about putting the people in our community who had taken out profiles in our community. We was serious about, if you got talent, we're gonna get you noticed and get you hired. So we rented out Lake Eola. This is downtown Orlando. We brought in Vera Wang, EA Sports. We had a fashion show. We had all of the degree programs of Full Sail had their own tent. So we had a film tent, a music tent, a graphic design tent, or all of that. And all of the businesses from the community, artists from the community, they performed all day. Fashion show all day. All of the different layers and all of the different organic elements of the school just got to network. Just off the strength of a vision that we had. Our main man, SPI, Spider Lope, we brought him in to perform. At the time, he was on EA Sports, Madden Live. He had dropped the album on G Unit. He was on tour with 50 at the time. That Window Shopper album or whatever. So we brought SPI in the headline. So artists, local artists, got to say they performed and they headlined before. So this is the type of stuff that we did. And all of this is before a Great Recession. All of this is before the bottom falls out of an economy. Now mind you, a lot of students taking out loans. And I equate it to what my people in the city who all their life they play these sports. And they're the best in the world. They're the best basketball players and the best football players in the world. They go to practice year after year. They put up numbers year after year. And yet, what do they have to show for it? And so I started finding myself doing coaching and empowerment, bringing in experts and individuals to level the playing field, both for the people in our community who we was networking with, and both for our people in our inner city communities who is the best in the world at what they're doing, but they had so many obstacles in front of them. So at Full Sail created in my master's program, myself and a partner of mine called Leonardo Lepet, we put together an entertainment networking society. We launched this organization. This is the 10-year anniversary. 10-year anniversary of Entertainment Networking Society. And the Entertainment Networking Society, we wanted to incorporate the business element of Full Sail. Those who know how to market and brand, do search engine optimization, write business plans. When we added that element, that final component to the network, I knew we was on to something. Entertainment Networking Society. If you are students, they're Full Sail right now. If you in graphic design, film, if no matter what degree program you in, and if you're in the business programs, I'm going to show you some obstacles that are standing in the way of people in the communities, and I'm going to show you obstacles that are standing in the way of people who have invested in themselves and have skills, the financial obstacles, and then I'm going to show y'all another bridge, how we come together and execute, we could provide the service for both of these communities to overcome these obstacles and everybody to be prosperous. And if you are in between the ages of 18 and 34, if you are between the ages of 18 and 34, I want you to know that what I'm about to show you is a direct attack on your financial future. Literally. They have targeted millennials and put financial obstacles in place of millennials. And if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a plan in place, or if you don't have a network to tap into, then if another 2008 and 2009 rolls around, another financial hit without a plan in place, without a team, I'm talking about building a bridge to help individuals on both sides get to their priceless horizon dreams for getting their content out to the world or using their skill to generate the life of their dreams. First, I'm going to show you the obstacles. Then I'm going to show you the plan in place that we have. And the reason I'm so passionate about this, y'all got to understand, is my two oldest children are in that group. The 18 to 34 year old. My son is about to be 21. My daughter is 19. My whole reason for going to Full Sail, they were my why. My wife and I wanted to break the generational curses of poverty that most from our communities go through. So I'm going to show you the obstacles, and I'm going to show you what we put in place. And we invite you to come join us like we always do. So for those of y'all who don't know, this is Full Sail.
From the red carpet all the way through that night.
So this is my main man, Jay Noble. He's over career development. If you have Full Sail, we're going to launch a actual profile for this help wanted for these positions with career development. So all you got to do is go see Jay. But for those of y'all who are not familiar with Full Sail, this is a just brief overview of what the community is like.
I actually think from the red carpet all the way through that night, there was a palpable excitement. I think the students were hanging on not only their favorites that they wanted to see perform or that they wanted to see win, but I also think that they were very clued into the graduates and their tie-in to the Grammys this year, especially Album of the Year. Everyone was clinging to which one of the five, since we had graduates on all five, which one of the five was going to win. Very electric evening. I think the surprise of the night for me was how well the breaks, we had to do something on commercial breaks, and how well the breaks flowed. You know, it was a variety of things. There were facts that were given out, there were contests related to who voted for what at the Grammys. And there was also the element of let's make a deal, let's hand somebody a prize and see if they're willing to trade up or trade down, giving away PreSonus gear and Avid software and incredible microphones. I think there was one gentleman at the end of the night that walked away with what had to be well over probably $1,200, maybe $1,300 worth of a recording studio package after that Album of the Year win. Just remarkable. I think last Sunday represents the Full Sail spirit being planted right in the heart of the Grammy Awards. If you could take a university to the Grammys, I think we did it.
So, for those of y'all at Full Sail, y'all know Full Sail allows y'all the opportunity. Every year, Full Sail graduates are all up and down the production of the Grammys. Grammy after Grammy after Grammy after Grammy. But for the overwhelming majority of individuals there, they have the skill and the ability to produce on that level. It's just about getting the opportunity. Now, for those of y'all in my communities, the Pine Forges, the Oakwoods, the Trentons, the Chicagos, the Baymac, SPI out in California, who have all of this content in performing arts and in sports. There's no need to go out and try and figure out how to get your content to the world. We have the pipeline. All we just need to do is tap into the network. And that's all business is about. I'm trying to open up a door opportunity. James Brown got a song. James Brown got a song. He said, we don't want nobody to give me nothing. Just open the door and I'll get it myself. I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Just open the door and I'll get it myself. We ain't looking for no handouts. We not looking for no nothing. But what I tell my players, I've been coaching basketball and football as a way to prevent and establish relationships to prevent individuals and at-risk communities from falling into negative cycles. So we go and we create opportunities for them to showcase their talent and their skills and compete in tournaments outside of schools, because the school only got a limited amount of people they gonna put on the team. So we create leagues where they can showcase their talent, and then we coach it, and then we bring economic development and empowerment to them, because now we got a relationship with them. Now we coaching them 3 times a week. When we not coaching you and when you're not playing, we don't want you to fall into the negative cycle. So when we not playing, we provide business and entrepreneurial development and empowerment. So those businesses that we've invested in, that we've mentored for 21 years in a Break the Cycle program, these are all content producers for the individuals at Full Sail who have the skills to showcase it, and we just want to put them together. So in my bachelor's business degree, myself and a gentleman by the name of Sean Boyd, I tagged Sean on here too, as a gift. In our project management class, we decided to go to one of the toughest neighborhoods in Orlando, Florida, Paramore. It's right behind the Amway Arena. The lady running the program, her name is Tony Shin. It's called the Paramore Kids Zone. They had already received funding from Dwight Howard to build what they called a teen shack, because they was trying to do the same thing. All of these programs in these at-risk neighborhoods are trying to have some type of content that can keep the children, the people busy, so they don't become a statistic. There is a gold mine of opportunity that is at Full Sail, because everywhere else, when people go to school, they're not getting skills. So they're out here frustrated because they don't have no skill. But you guys, you come straight out of your degree program and you got the skills on worldwide to be able to do things that these people are like, it's a match made in heaven. And if you can teach, if you can do what I do, because I played ball, I use coaching as a way to give back. And if you can not only learn a skill, but if you can teach, if you could show somebody else as you help them in this network marketing broadcasting stuff, but if you have the ability to teach other people who want to learn how to do graphic designs, edit films, shoot films, I told you, we telling a story. We telling a totally different story about our community. I'm gonna show it to you. We putting a totally different image out here. I can't tell you how many countless individuals are in my network that society just wrote off. And these individuals climb from the slums to the top of what society would call success. And when you have individuals who can, society likes to talk about a rags to riches story. We call them from slums to Slumdog Millionaires. Y'all know the Slumdog Millionaires movie. Slumdog Millionaires. But the slums are an obstacle that is created. But it's an opportunity for us to go and merge together content creators and producers and raw talent with the skills to be able to replenish and recycle humanity. Take their inhumanity. One man's trash is another man's treasure. There are whole segments of society. Let me give y'all some numbers. So, from the sports industry, from just marketing in the sports industry, to the global sports industry, to the self-help and self-improvement industry. Then you have global apparel. So you got women's wear, men's wear. So this is the fashion industry. Then you got the entertainment industry. Then you got the global health and wellness industry. Everybody is on this vegan. Everybody's on this get fit thing. So you got prevention and personalized medical, public health, fitness, mind and body, beauty, anti-aging. You got wellness lifestyle, wellness tourism, spa industry. You have all of these different industries. And the elite, the top 3% of our economy are making $11 trillion off of these combined industries. The top 10% owns like 60% of all of this. So that means there's a huge opportunity. If the top 10% of our economy is making all of this money, it's a very small amount of people making $11 trillion off of all of these industries. That means there's a wide open door of opportunity for the people in the bottom 90% who had the same ability to create the content. And if we could just put them together with this network of individuals who can broadcast it, This is 10% of the 10% of a small group of elites. Not even over 1,000 people making $11 trillion, while the bottom 90% is starving, impoverished. When we can create brands around the talent if we remove these obstacles. Let me show you the obstacles. Show you some of these obstacles. Oh, it's on the other channel. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. My fault, y'all. Hold on. Bear with me. Bear with me, y'all. So,
36 years, but Michelle Miller shows us how he is already seeing his dreams. I was only 21 when he helped create Apple, the newest star of the tech world.
so my thing in life is, like I said, we don't want you to give me nothing. Just open the door. I'll get it myself. I mean, don't give me no handout, but don't be an obstacle. All right? If we gonna compete mano a mano, let's compete. If there's one thing I tell my people all the time on teams that I play for, I'm like, y'all just go out there and do what y'all supposed to do. Keep your mouth closed. I'll deal with the referee. I'll deal with the injustice. I'll handle the cheating, the uneven playing field. So I'm gonna show you an uneven playing field, and the only way to level a playing field is to take control, is to create the level playing field yourself. And what we are in the process of doing is giving the people back the power to level their own playing field by being owners of their brands, owners of their talent, and turning talent into raw skills that can be marketed and produced. That's what happens when you go to Full Sail. You come there and they give you raw skills and ability. That's the thing that high schools used to do back in the day. You used to go to high school and they used to teach you auto mechanics, welding. You used to learn skills, a trade, a skill set. And we know everywhere where success is, they take raw talent And then there is a systematic program in place to take the raw talent and develop skills around it, and then market that. And whenever you provide a skill that can help somebody else be successful and make money, they will pay you for it. They will pay you for it. Whenever you develop the skill to be able to help somebody else achieve success or meet a need, if you provide a service of transportation service and somebody wants to get from point A to point B, they will pay you for you meeting the need of providing the service. Our people are impoverished because we have a system that has lulled everybody into sleep by these elites at the top who are benefiting from everybody else not being able to compete. All we trying to do is give the people the ability to compete. We got individuals with tons of content in music. We got some of the best singers on the planet. Literally. Our people write plays, skits. We're talking about content, stories, telling a story of success. And in their community, this is what they're doing in their community.
We won't reach that age for another 6 years, but Michelle Miller shows us how he is already seeing his dreams pay off.
Do people ever call you Smarty Pants?
No.
No, maybe they should. Eric Finman is the founder of Botangle, an online education program that links students with instructors around the world. A pretty remarkable accomplishment considering he's only 15 years old.
So you can see all the best teachers. Oh, there I am.
That's even younger than his mentor, Alexis Ohanian, was when he started the online community Reddit, at the ripe old age of 22.
I'm shocked by Eric's success at this age compared to where I was.
Ohanian inspired a generation of smart, tech-savvy teens with his book, Without Their Permission, How the 21st Century Will Be Made, Not Managed. Eric read it, then took a $1,000 check his grandmother had given him at Easter and invested it in the online currency Bitcoin.
I just thought it was just such an amazing tool. It's going to be really big.
You hit the jackpot.
I hit the jackpot.
A jackpot worth $100,000. Eric was hooked. His next venture was inspired by feeling stuck in school in northern Idaho, where he couldn't find enough interesting subjects to satisfy his curious mind.
You can choose to register as a student and learn something, or become an expert and teach something.
His solution, give users a...
You can become a student and learn something, or become an expert and teach something. It's the same exact system I'm saying. First of all, he was 12 and he had a grandmother who at Easter just dropped $1,000 on him. Then he had access to a multi-millionaire who, like him, had access to funds, family invested in him. They have a school to millionaire pipeline where they can drop out of school and go straight to being millionaires. And we have a school to prison pipeline. I'm going to show that to you next. That's an obstacle. That's on purpose. And we say, if we're going to compete, all men are created equal. If we're going to compete, we saying, if they haven't leveled the playing field by now, they ain't going to level the playing field. And there's an unbelievable opportunity of a jackpot for us to tap into. Because when people know that there is a network that can help them bypass spinning their wheels for years and years and not developing a skill, to applying a skill right now in whatever area they specialize in. It's the same thing they're doing. They've also created a whole nother separate economy. A whole nother separate economy where these people are going off, getting mentors, and they got access to capital. They're going and they're investing in this whole other market. Who is exposing? Who is leveling the playing field and exposing the bottom 90%? We are. We are. This high school dropout who invested in Bitcoin and became a millionaire at 18. So he dropped out of high school and he was a millionaire by the time he was 18.
Welcome to Mirage, basically.
So I was 18 years old when I made my first $1 million.
How did it feel?
It felt pretty great. Felt great. Did towards some Lamborghinis. There's a dealership in Newport Beach that takes Bitcoin for Lamborghinis. I'm Eric Finman, and I'm one of the youngest Bitcoin millionaires in the world. So this is the place. You got a lot of beds here. I like to have a lot of friends over. I don't really like cuddling, that's why I want bed. Pretty minimalistic, so I don't like to have too many clothes. That's pretty much it. I like to just live a life of gym t-shirt and gym shorts perpetually. Hey, if you got money, why do you have to dress nice? I check my Bitcoin every 30 minutes, so I get a notification of the price. So I originally got into Bitcoin when I was just 12 years old, when it was about $10, $12 a coin. And I had one of my brothers, he really got into it, and we were very close, and then we really got into all this Bitcoin stuff.
Alright, so let me show you real quick.
Bad arrests or unlawful uses of force.
And this is the school to prison pipeline.
Class, and they would just put your hand out,
This is Project Liberty in New York schools that use metal detectors and police personnel. He who opens the school doors closes a prison.
I would walk to class, and then they would just put your hand out, block you and tell you you're a sheep or a cow or something. You know how cows, they gather in groups and stuff, and they'll push you to class all that, and you say, oh, my class is this way, and then they'll ignore you and just keep on push you toward the class that you don't even want to. New cops like that patrol all schools. So like one day he came to the school. So I'm like he was standing in the hallway. So I'm going to class. So he like, oh, why are you late? He started like getting like loud with me. So I felt like small compared to him. Like if I get loud with him, he's gonna call some other agents, and then it's gonna be a whole different situation. The teacher gets to go in without being scanned, and then we have to be scanned. It's like we are the prisoners, and they are like the prison guard. I don't feel comfortable. Like when I go to metal detectors in the morning, it's like usually like crowded. The line ends up being long, and then we end up being late to school. I feel like I'm in like prison or something.
As a society, we value education. At least we talk like we do. We recognize that education is the key to the future and that children are our future. But we behave in quite a different way, at least with regard to some kids.
I have the whole 9 yards. We got security, we got metal detectors. Sometimes they upgrade the security almost every year. And it's, you know, it's radical in my school.
Tens of thousands of students in New York City pass through metal detectors every single day just going to school. That means that sometimes they're subjected to invasive searches and pat-downs just because they're trying to get to class.
This is supposed to be school. Like, why are you treating me like I'm some kind of criminal or something in the school environment? And I'm supposed to be coming here to learn and gain my education, but now I'm coming in feeling like I'm going into prison.
There are more police in New York City public schools than in virtually every large city in the nation, including Boston, Washington.
So listen, we've been on the forefront of this battle for 21 years. And we have what we call dropout prevention. See, they've underinvested in the schools. And they've bet against humanity by hyper investing in the prison industrialized complex. They only invest $8,000 per year to educate the children. But in the prison, they're going to make $48,000 a year. Between $36,000 and $48,000 a year into the coffers. And they see that as employment. They see that as guard salaries. They see that as stimulating the economy. So they underfund the education, and they build and prepare the prison to be able to get an injection into the economy, where the statistics show that you will get the same stimulation in the economy for every student that completes high school. It's between $12,000 to $14,000 annually is injected into the local economy. So just imagine if you double and triple what you're putting into education. And that's what we bring into the table with the skills. We're doubling and tripling the investment. We call it the launch pad. Because then when they complete high school, and then when they complete it with a skill, and then when they have a skill that they can brand and market and earn income. They no longer are a threat to our community as a criminal. And then they are contributing financially and economically That's justice. Now let me show y'all how we do it. They ain't the only ones that got millionaires and super successful individuals. Let me show you this though, for all of y'all who, just before y'all say, well, the NFL players and the NBA players, they get paid great money. First of all, they only represent like 5% of our community. No other global, worldwide, money-making, profitable enterprise is treated. No other global athletes, if you are a tennis player or if you are a soccer player, if you are a volleyball player in Europe, if you have the ability to go pro at 15 and play on that level, they will pay you pro salary. But so that they could profit off of these individuals for free, they went to the federal government and put laws only for football and basketball. In the United States of America, same country, you could play tennis and go on a pro tennis tour. We got golfers on the golf tour at 15, 16, bypassing college, go straight to the money. But you let us decide we not going to play college ball. They villainize us. He greedy. No, they want us to work for free in the NCAA and make billions of dollars in the NCAA for free. We're going to give these young people who are the best in the world a professional league. They could choose to be amateurs if they want to. But they need to have the choice. If they want to go pro in a league, in football, basketball, track, you don't got to be a slave to the Olympics. Nah. You the fastest person in the world at 14, 15. We want to see 14 and 15-year-olds race, and we're going to put some eyes, and we're going to put a network that they don't control, and we're going to let the people see the best athletes in the world.
Bankruptcy in 2009 of what you make. It's about what you keep. In fact, many of the richest people in the world earn no income at all. Why is that? True wealth is true wealth is not.
So of course we have a whole economic empowerment. We don't talk about financial literacy. That's a misnomer. That's a misnomer. Just like go to school, get an education, get a job. It's a misnomer. Listen, you got to empower individuals by giving them true knowledge and then giving them access to capitalization. Without the $1,000 investment, which is capitalization, then he was given knowledge of the separate economy, the Bitcoin economy. He already had the knowledge of what to do with the capital once he received the capital investment. You got to do both. And then you gotta give them the skills to be able to market and get the stuff to the market. Then, so once he learned the skills to be able to get online, because he learned skills by having a mentor, a multi-millionaire who was pouring into him on how to do it. He had capitalization. He had the knowledge. There's nothing separating success in our community from success in their community except the obstacles that they placed in the way. And here go an example. These the NFL athletes. So when they get their access to capital, a Sports Illustrated article came out and said 89% of NFL athletes 2 years after they leave the league are broken or bankrupt. This 12-year-old ain't about to be broke or bankrupt. Why? Because all of the things that I just told you they gave him. A mentor that economically empowered him, not a parasite that's going to tell him some financial literacy principles and then rob him blind as an accountant. This is what they do. These is facts. This is based off an article. And an NBA athletes, 80% of those 5 years after the league are broke or bankrupt. Then you wonder why, with all of them touching so much money, why the communities don't look no better. Because it's a system. Inhumanity, economic inequality, man-made disaster. Well, we got the solution.
Not about what you make, it's about what you keep. In fact, many of the richest people in the world earn no income at all. Why is that? Because they have obtained income-producing assets, which earn income for them long after they have stopped getting up each morning, rushing off to work to trade their time for dollars. When you earn income-producing assets, you are truly wealthy, even if you aren't getting up and going to work each day. But the opposite is also true. The media is full of stories of individuals who have earned incredible incomes during their lifetime, but went broke just because the day that the income stopped. In 2009, Sports Illustrated published an article entitled, "How and Why Athletes Go Broke." That article told us that 78% of NFL athletes are broke or bankrupt within 2 years of leaving the National Football League. How can this be? The minimum salary for a rookie entering the NFL is $310,000. The salary just increases from there. In the second year, the minimum is $460,000. So how would these players ever manage to run out of money? The answer is amazingly simple. No financial education and no income-producing assets.
No financial
The result,
education.
the day they can no longer run a ball, catch a ball, or throw a ball, their income stops. Here's an example. Has anyone ever heard of Rocket Ismail? Rocket Ismail entered the NFL in the early 1990s. He made over $20 million playing professional football. He spent his money on lavish homes, vacation, failed businesses, and keeping his friends and family on his personal payroll to the tune of $60,000 a month. Rocket Ismail retired from the NFL in 2002 and was dead broke by 2006. But he's not alone. Deuce McAllister, bankruptcy in 2009. Mark Brunell lost his home to foreclosure in 2010. My personal favorite, Travis Henry. Travis Henry made over $60 million during his time in the NFL, but was thrown in jail in 2009 because he couldn't pay his child support.
$60
I don't put this information up here to make fun of these guys. I put this here.
Listen, you got 2 Hall of Fame Super Bowl. Ray Lewis, Baltimore Ravens, Hall of Fame, 15 years in the league. This is man-made. This is on purpose. Warren Sapp, Lawrence Taylor, Hall of Fame Lawrence Taylor. These are obstacles on purpose. prosperity inequality gap. And we're going to take skills and development and content creators and put them together and turn the tables on this thing. I'm not telling you what we want to do.
%3 Access Network gives access to ownership that sets people free.
So this
Who are you and what is your title?
These are the mentors that we put them in touch with.
And I am the program director for the Survivors Mentoring Program, which is a mentoring program in the Break the Cycle organization.
This goes out to all my survivors. Hold on, help is on the way. I am Dina, Dr. Lifeguard, for 20 years through Break the Cycle and Leish Inc. I have been a first responder coming to the aid of individuals affected by man-made disasters like the gap between the top 3% and the bottom 97% income earners here domestically.
Yes, what we're saying is dropout prevention will cure the crime and violence. If you remove the obstacles that are causing people to drop out, not just drop out of high school, but they drop it out of the race, the pursuit of happiness, because they're giving up on the American dream of the pursuit of happiness because they like it ain't no hope. And when they drop out of that race, they become a problem to society. Our whole mentality is we throw the kitchen sink of skills development, economic empowerment, resources, and invest them. And then we just pour into the individuals, and then we turn around and we put them in a position to become coaches and pour into the next crop and the next harvest that comes behind them. It's that simple. Yes, we can cure crime and violence with simple investment. We giving them everything else. We just need to put our resources. They put their resources together and invest in their people.
And those affected by natural disasters abroad.
Not on the school campus itself, but in the neighborhood, we always had 2 to 3 kids get killed.
They shot him in the head.
Somebody done killed somebody on my street.
He got shot in his head. He just took the wrong place the wrong time. He got shot in his head.
She came to school, she was pregnant.
So this is us in 2006, while I was at Full Sail. Went out to Crenshaw High School, because that high school was caught in the crossfire between a Blood neighborhood and a Crip neighborhood, right in the middle, Crenshaw High School. And we went out there to break the cycle. Main man, E.T., the hip-hop preacher, goes to take his inspiration, and I'm coming with the empowerment to help you get from point A to point B. Once we lay out a blueprint, we trying to give you all of the resources to be able to follow the blueprint, follow the business plan to success.
You're a warrior, what did you want to do? He said, I wanted to breathe. He told the guy.
That's right. We give you access to individuals who motivating and inspiring the best in the game.
You gotta want this game as bad as your next breath.
That's LeBron quoting E.T. for his first championship. That's his coach quoting E.T. when the Heat won their first championship.
And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful, as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
Hold on, that's not it though.
collaborated with a host of
let's get to some
others,
businesses.
Wish Foundation, the Falcons Nest Foundation.
So they gave him access to a millionaire, right? To mentor him.
Hospital Administrator Edward Mark.
I'm gonna show you some millionaires that we have to mentor.
Personal development partner, the 3% Access Network.
It's Stan Richards.
We started from the
Stan
bottom
and
down here.
Sharice.
I first want to give honor to God for His grace and favor on my life. I grew up very poor in Washington, D.C. Graduated from high school reading on the 6th grade level, strung out on cocaine in the 80s. Became institutionalized on a bus, and then started my own business. And been blessed to make millions of dollars.
Did you hear him? This is the only network you're gonna find. You see, they paired them, Erica. They paired the guy who dropped out of high school and became a millionaire by 18 with another millionaire, right? But we pairing individuals up in our community who have nothing but obstacles laid out in front of them with multimillionaires who have overcome. I was very poor, grew up very poor in Washington, D.C., graduated high school on the 6th grade level, meaning they was just passing him through. Tell me, we got a school to prison pipeline since he was in high school. Prosperity, inequality, man-made disaster. And our communities cannot keep walking around here acting like it's all good. And we ain't talking about charity. We ain't talking about charity. I'm talking about a program where we treat the individuals that we're going to train for a 6-week program this summer on how to implement and do what I'm talking about all across the country. And then we're going to give individuals in our communities an opportunity to invest in these individuals and market your business, your service, your outreach, your ministry, your skill, your whatever, as an affiliate sponsor to these entrepreneurs who we're going to empower to own their talent, own their skill. So on this website and on these communities that we go, and on these tournaments and at these motivational and economic empowerment events, this is an economic opportunity for individuals to invest. Instead of going and investing in the stock market that's putting money into a prison industrialized complex that's cannibalizing our communities, we're going to create a market just like they created the Bitcoin market. They built the Bitcoin market off of a Silk Road. Silk Road was an underground dark web spot where you could buy drugs, guns, prostitution. They always profited off of dishonest gain. We like, if they can create a Silk Road, we can create a Golden Road. A Havilah Golden Road off of honest trade. They making all of this money in these industries off of promoting a negative image. This is the image we putting out. This is the product that we produce. And we going to teach the young generation coming up, all the way up, from the little ones all the way up to these millennials that are being targeted right now. And we're going to use a group of millennials around my daughter and son, who are going to take over this family business operation. We're going to put teams of skilled millennials on the team with them, and we're going to develop and give people access to power, economic empowerment. And we're going to simply compete for this pursuit of happiness. Stop having our people being forced to drop out and give up. No, we're going to give them skills to compete. We're going to give them the ability to threaten for the championship and win the race. Show you a couple more examples and let y'all go. This is the example I want y'all to see.
I didn't do.
Or maybe I should show y'all this first. Then it'll make sense. Before I go there, I'm going to show you why we say we are life guardians, lifeguards. Because the obstacles they put in place are to stifle and snuff out abundant life. And so if there are sharks in the water, devouring our people, then there needs to be somebody in the water with our people to guard their lives, guard their abundant life, and help them get from the point A on the shore that they on to the distant shore of abundant life. The priceless horizon of whatever talent and gift that they was purposed to do and carry out. We have taken up the challenge to help to be that transportation to get our people to the distant shore of abundant life so they can reach their priceless horizon. They can finally get to their priceless horizon, their pursuit of happiness. Once again, everything I'm telling you is what we have been doing. This is not what we want to do. This is what we have been doing. We use team environment, coaching, to get them to master the effort that it takes to compete and win and be champions. And it's always some type of economic empowerment behind whatever we get them to compete at. Here, once they finish this lifeguard training program, they certified to be able to be lifeguards at Wet n Wild, Aquatica, all of these tourist water theme parks here in Orlando, Florida. We literally gave them the ability to be economically empowered through learning a skill. And they crushed the competition. These are all of the different lifeguard teams from the county in an Olympic style competition. This is the first year they ever competed in it. They came in second place, crushed these cats. Listen, when our people just get access to power, we thrive. We are successful. Those skills over there on that campus at Full Sail University is the key, the launch pad for the world to be able to consume what we already got going on. It's on the underground right now because the bridge has not been built. After this summer, this bridge will be complete. And anybody who wants to see these people succeed, you can invest and earn a return on your investment. We ain't talking about no charity here. We talk about real investment. Instead of betting against this community, we're going to bet on them. Mind you, this is all resources that my wife and I, for the past 21 years, have just invested in ourselves. This is what the vision that we was called to do. And we just showing you if with our little investment, we could do this. Imagine if we come together collectively. We'll turn the tables. So this is a computer lab that we've invested in. So first we built the studio. Now we've invested in a computer lab so they can learn the skills once they get into the studio to be able to produce content. All we need is the content creators at Full Sail. That's the last piece of the puzzle. To invest the skills and the training, to hand up, to pass down. That's all that's left. Final Cut, all of those programs that y'all do at Full Sail. These is Mac. Same exact thing. They learn robotics here, game design, in the heart of Orlando. This is me and my two sons coming and telling them, I'm telling them about Full Sail. I'm telling them that you ahead of the game. Doing this in high school, you ahead of the game. It's how we change the future of up and coming generations. Same thing they doing in their community, we've been doing in ours. Now it's time for our community to invest.
All major expeditions start with imagination.
In 1978, this woman attempted to swim from Cuba to Florida. You heard me. What are you talking about? We are life guardians. That are going to provide the protection and the security for the sharks and other obstacles that are standing in the way of our people reaching their dream and goal of getting to the distant shore. Swam from Cuba, she attempted and failed, but did not give up. That is called an endurance athlete. There are no greater endurance athletes in the world than are found in our community. Whenever other people go through what we have endured, they can't take it. So we got community after community that is enduring. All they need is somebody. All they need is a network that's going to do for them what's being done to these other communities. And you're going to see some champions. We're producing champions out of nothing. Can you imagine? Once we remove the obstacles, I'll show you what's going to happen. After 42 hours, she swam for 42 hours of turbulent sea and adverse currents. She was forced to give up. It blew her off course. She swam for 42 hours, but it was taking her out to sea, and there was no way she could correct and make, so she had to give up. That was in 1978, y'all. Watch this.
Everyone told me, Diana, this swim is impossible.
"30 years later." 30 years later, so 2008, at the age of 60, she came out of retirement to attempt to get to the distant shore of the priceless horizons of abundant life. And our people is trying to get to the distant shore. All they need is a team to help them navigate the obstacles. Watch it. Plagued by tropical storms and marine predators, the sharks. These sharks is in the water. She failed three separate times she tried to swim from Cuba to Florida. This is the fourth failure now. The average individual who is not an endurance race, remember, the race is not given to the swift or to the strong, but to he that endures to the end. It's all about dropout prevention. It's all about preventing our people from dropping out and giving up. If we provide the support and the resources and the training and the knowledge and the inspiration and the access to power and the access to skill development, and if they willing to bring their talent and add effort and never give up and never drop out, we'll change the whole face of our slums. We'll change the whole face of our community. We'll change the world, and we're going to get it done. All the people got to do. The system is backwards. The business model is backwards. It's based off taking. It's based off exploitation. And the greatest thing I love about sports is sports always uses nature for the inspiration, for the mascots. The Bears, the Eagles, the Colts. It always relies on nature because nature is one of the most inspirational things because it's a direct reminder of the power of the Creator. And when we go out there and compete, we are recreate. And the most direct correlation in nature between prosperity, the number one correlation between prosperity is a harvest. Prosperity is equal to a harvest. Hunting, gathering. When you gather in, you have become prosperous. You don't become prosperous by taking. You're a raider. You're a conqueror when you take. You become prosperous and bring forth a harvest when you sow, when you give, when you invest in the harvest, then you get to reap from the investment in the harvest. When you invest into the seed, when you invest in fertilizer, when you invest the time to cultivate, when you invest the time to weed out, you water it and you water it. When you put in the effort and the investment in the children, in your family, in your brothers and sisters, in your businesses, and stop selling yourself cheap, and stop sitting idly by what we see and we've been blessed and there's other people suffering and being exploited and taken advantage of, and all we got to do is invest. For those of y'all who's spiritual, when you look at the word, the times when in the word where the people were most prosperous was when they took from harvest time and the abundance called the first fruits. Whenever that increase came in, they would give it and distribute it to the poor among them. And then when they did that, when it came time to harvest, then those poor people were no longer, because they would give them seed, they would give them everything. Now they had the ability to go and produce on their own. This is what our program is based off of. That's what the $1,000 and sold into the boy at 12 provided him an opportunity. Open the door, I'll go get it myself. I don't want you to give me prosperity. We don't want you to give our people prosperity. We just want to open the door and watch them run through it.
After each failure, I never let go of the vision, of the belief. Find a way to get across.
After each failure, I never let go of the vision, of the belief. Find a way to get across. Never let go of the vision. My people perish for lack of vision. Never let go of the belief. 21 years, we never let go of the belief that we could flip the slums. And we're going to find a way. With or without support, we're going to find a way to get it done. final try, a team of scientists. This is the part I want y'all to see. Because if y'all decide to join this team, not only will they be successful, but when the master fed the 5,000, it was baskets and baskets and baskets and baskets left over. And everybody had so much left to eat that they had to then go and distribute it to everybody else. That's the way the true business model is supposed to work. Invest, give, then you'll receive and reap. You reap what you sow. The golden rule, do unto others as you would have to come. Man, it's all basic. If we would just follow the model. How to swim from Cuba to Florida.
There are general rules that open water swimmers and marathon swimmers abide by. First and foremost is you don't get on a boat, and they swim from shore to shore under their own power.
The difficulty in marathon swimming and being a good marathon swimmer is that instead of a football game lasting 3 hours, we're talking about half a day or more.
To put Diana's swim into context, there's 16 million people who do open water swimming. There's 116 people who've actually swum over 24 hours straight. But to go over 48 hours, that's only 12 people in the history of the world that have actually swum that long, that far. Of those 12 people who've swum over 48 hours nonstop, Diana Naiad's in a venue where there's box jellyfish, where there's sharks, where there's the fastest and largest moving body of water in the world, and she goes 52 hours plus.
52 hours plus, box jellyfish, which will kill you, sharks, and a current. These are obstacles. These are obstacles standing in the way. Dreams over obstacles. Vision over obstacles. Belief over obstacles. Effort over obstacles. Find a way. Find a way to join this team and watch what we do. Find a way to join this team. Find a way to sponsor one of these individuals that we're going to train to do exactly what we've been doing. NASCAR. We're going to do these individuals just like NASCAR does. NASCAR, somebody invested in a car, and that car becomes the brand in that race. And then other individuals who believe in that team, who've invested in that vehicle, running that race, they attach their brands to that race. They say, we endorse the race that this car is running. Put my name on the hood. Put my name on the door. I want my name associated. I want people to know that I invested in the success involved around this car and this race that they are running. And I want to reap the tangible benefits. From when the community turns around, I want to provide my service and my business. I want them to know that I was a part of this success. So we all thrive together. We all succeed together. That's the model.
unprecedented.
This swim truly is an expedition. It takes such a complex group of people to get across because every obstacle that will keep you from getting across needs a particular specialty group. So you've got to have the navigators who understand these waters. You've got to have the jellyfish experts because these are now fatal stings that can happen here. You've got to have the shark experts. They are deadly large predators. You've got to have a medical team. If you've been debilitated, you've got to have your personal handlers who are going to get you through the moments of lack of will and no nutrition and have studied it to get that iron stomach that's now very upset in salt water to somehow perform. This group of 35 people, we did this. I didn't do this, we did this.
And that's the same story we're going to tell. With each individual that we take from a slum dweller to a slumdog pavilionaire, I didn't do this, we did it. And then they're going to turn around naturally. And they're going to make sure that for generations to come, this is the legacy that we decided we want to hand down to a generation that the same bankers, tomorrow I'm going to show you how the bankers that crashed the economy have bet against this whole generation. I'm going to show you the bankers. So if the bankers are in the business of profiting off of the destruction of a whole generation, we need some new bankers. We need some new investors. And we just decided that we gonna do it. Not about to sit idly by and let my children fall victim to some predators for dishonest gain, profits. So that's what we got for you today. We want y'all to join this team. My children are coming home and we're going to put a skilled team of professionals around them. And then we're going to, for 6 weeks, show them how to mesh best in the world content with best of the world skills to reinvest in all of these communities that are being preyed on around Orlando, to show the country a model that will bring to any neighborhood, just like a franchise go here and here. McDonald's set up the same cookie cutter operation everywhere. We doing the same thing. We just need a few people to join the team. Alright? I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.